On this week's episode of the Loud Nerd in the Basement podcast, I go over the announcement that Supergirl will be in the Superman sequel, Man of Tomorrow, X-Men 97 Season 2 getting a release date and announcement trailer, as well as a look at what's coming out this summer and what I will be reviewing. All this and more on the Loud Nerd in the Basement podcast. Welcome back to another Friday News Roundup edition of the Loud Nerd in the Basement podcast. As always, I'm your host, Adam Zolnai. Thank you so much for listening and for supporting me in any and every way possible. I really appreciate it, whether you're a paid subscriber or a free subscriber, if you're just listening or if you're reading and listening. I really appreciate it. I really do. Some cool announcements, I guess, starting out with. I have hit over 600 subscribers on my Substack. I can't thank you enough, each and every one of you. I love doing this. I love that I get to make this my career now, and I am so excited. Got a full slate of great articles and reviews coming in the next few months, so I hope you enjoy those and continue to just support me in any way that you can. Again, I really appreciate it. As always, I have my paid tier if you want to get the full experience from Loudner in the Basement. All it is $6 a month or $50 a year. So a cup of coffee or less than what a streaming subscription would be for you. So I'm not asking for much. And with this full experience, you'll get the ability to ask me questions on the podcast here. And you'll get a shout out if you're new. You will also get access to my monthly rewind reviews where I review an older movie in a lot more depth and analysis than probably a review of a first time view of a movie. And if you are a paid member, you can also ask and request movies that I would review. So you get that, and then also you get access to my spoiler articles / reviews of big blockbuster movies. Like this past week, I have a review that's spoiler free, that's accessible to anyone for the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, and then next Monday I will have a spoiler article giving my full in-depth thoughts on all the major plot points and beats in that movie for paid subscribers. So if you want to see all that, all you got to do is upgrade your membership. You go on Substack and click the upgrade button, and it'll take you through the steps you need to complete that. Again, I really appreciate it no matter what tier you are. I am thankful for you. Every view, every review, every subscription, all of it helps. So I really, really just thank you from the bottom of my heart. I can't believe I'm already on episode 10 of this podcast. That blows my mind. It's just crazy, and I'm so happy I get to do this. I have so much fun, and I hope you have fun reading and listening, because obviously that's important. But with that, let's get into the news. Not much news to talk about this week. It was a holiday weekend last week here in the U.S., so I think that kind of slowed things down a little bit. Plus, you have a lot of studios that are filming stuff right now, and you have the big summer movie season kicking off, so I think a lot of that is kind of caused some of the news to maybe die down a little bit until maybe, I guess, probably around July is when we'll start getting Comic-Con and maybe some trailers for the fall and winter releases. So with that, I do expect we will probably get one more trailer for Spider-Man Brand New Day, since it comes out in about 2 months. And although that movie, in my opinion, doesn't need another trailer, they could release that teaser, and I think that movie's probably going to hit $1 billion, just based on how the trailer did numbers-wise across all the platforms. I think it reached almost 1 billion views or something insane like that. So I think they could keep quiet and just release some teaser posters and be done. But I expect we'll probably get another trailer in the next week or two. As far as Avengers Doomsday, I thought that they were going to put one out, a trailer out in front of Mandalorian and Grogu to kind of build hype for that movie, as well as feed off the whatever hype there would be for Star Wars. Obviously, I was wrong on that. I would imagine then if we don't get it in the next month or so, I think we're just going to have to wait until Comic Con because we know at the end of July is when San Diego Comic Con occurs, and we know that Marvel Studios is doing a big Hall H panel there. So I imagine that's when we would get the first trailer drop for it at that point, and then it's going to be playing in front of Spider-Man in theaters. But that would be my best guess because I would have to imagine they're going to release it soon because obviously they had one at CinemaCon, so they have something cut. So the only other thing I can think of is maybe they're wanting to finish some more visual effects and also they're filming Secret Wars right now. So maybe they're wanting to do a really big proper trailer for the first public reveal. So maybe something a little bit more action oriented and a little bit more complete as opposed to maybe the teaser trailer that it sounds like we got in at CinemaCon. So we'll see. When those come out, obviously I'll talk about them. Looking forward to it. But with that, let's get into the news that did come out. So first up, in a surprise that really, I feel like this wasn't a surprise to anyone. Supergirl, per James Gunn, is going to be in the Superman sequel, Man of Tomorrow. This is not a shock to me. It really does feel like they're building out the Superman universe first. Like that's the big central component of his phase one of the DCU is really building out Superman in his world first, and then kind of bringing Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, everyone kind of to coalesce around that, but with Superman as core, which I mean is how it should be. The comics have kind of been the same way, even though Batman's the big seller. I feel like Superman is the heart of the DC universe in any medium, and so you need to make sure he's established and done right and really there to kind of solidify and provide a good foundation for any DC universe. So I'm glad that they're doing that, and it kind of lends to the theory that I have that we're going to find out in Supergirl, which comes out in about a month, that Brainiac is the one that destroyed Krypton. In a lot of versions of Krypton's destruction in the comics, Brainiac has been responsible for them. Sometimes he's an unknown alien AI that comes in, wrecks Krypton, and leaves. Other times, Brainiac is the AI on Krypton and becomes self-aware, and it becomes kind of a Skynet situation. I don't know which version they're going to go with here. From the sounds of it, they're trying to make Brainiac pretty scary, and I'm all for that because Brainiac should be a little intimidating. But I do think in the end he's going to be responsible for Krypton, and then that's going to kind of bridge Supergirl to Superman, and kind of it all coalesces and culminates in Man of Tomorrow. So I'm excited for that, and it'll be fun to see Supergirl and Superman on screen together. I'm really excited for that movie. And again, it just kind of really solidifies the scope and scale of that movie, where it's like, oh, you need Superman and Supergirl in this to really kind of take on and destroy Brainiac. So I'm excited. I think it'll be good, and I'm excited about this decision. I think it'll be great. And again, just kind of continuing to build on that shared universe idea. Again, I know people have some reservations about Superman 2025 being a little crowded. I didn't feel that way. I thought that the Justice Gang was in it just enough without Superman not being the focal point of the movie. It sounds like there's going to be a lot of heroes in this one again, but I also think that helps because it emphasizes it makes the universe feel lived in, where it's like, oh, hey, there's other super people in this universe. Like, we're not like the MCU where we're starting from the ground up, and it's like when we see a character, that's the first time they're appearing in this universe. It's nope, that you get to just live in this world where heroes are already established, and I kind of like that approach to it. And also, I think it'll help establish Brainiac as a big threat when it's like, oh man, the Justice League, or Justice Gang in this case, whatever they're called, the Justice Society, I'm pretty sure Justice Gang is not going to stick, much to Guy Gardner's chagrin. But I could see it where it just kind of helps solidify the threats, the threat of Brainiac, and then also showing how important Superman is to that universe. So that if and when we ever get to a Death of Superman movie, it has an impact when he's gone. You really feel that. So I'm excited for that. I can't wait. But moving on to our other piece of news, again, just a really slow news week. Of course, I say that, and probably after this podcast drops, we're going to get both like an Avengers trailer and a Spider-Man trailer. So if that happens, again, I'll just address it next week. But the other piece of news, there was a trailer that did drop, and it is for the Marvel animated show X-Men 97 Season 2. We got a 2-minute trailer for that, as well as a release date of July 1st, which is awesome. That means it's only about a month away at the time of this recording. I'm really excited for that. I really enjoyed the first season. I didn't watch the X-Men animated series growing up, but I was able to jump right into this one, and I wasn't lost at all. I thought it was very accessible for someone who didn't have time to sit through, I think, 3 or 4 seasons of that show. The animation I thought was really good. It was cool to see a kind of lived-in Marvel universe again, where it's like, oh hey, Captain America shows up. We see a cameo of Spider-Man and Daredevil. Iron Man in his 90s costume shows up. And again, it feels like solidified in that time period of the 90s Marvel comics, which I love. And it's adapting, obviously, the biggest 90s story. We had spoilers if you haven't seen the first season, in which case, do yourself a favor and go. I think there's only like 10 episodes, which I think is smart. Again, less episodes to produce better quality animation. This might be a hot take. I think the animation in X-Men 97 is better than the animation in Invincible. Just based on what I've seen with some videos, the animation's really gotten lazy with Invincible, but the animation in X-Men 97 is crisp, just beautiful, and you could tell that the people who are making it love this material, and it's very evident here. Last season we got Fatal Attraction storyline where famously, I should say, Magneto rips out Wolverine's skeleton. They were able to do that storyline, which was really neat. They did Genosha and the slaughter of the mutants there, which was really interesting. And then this season, it looks like it's going to be either the prelude or actually go into the Age of the Apocalypse storyline, which I'm excited we get. Polaris in the trailer. We see Morph turn into Deadpool for a brief minute, which was fun. Emma Frost appears in the trailer for a brief moment. Bishop is there. All of it looks awesome. I am just ready for this. And I hope with the success of this show, it makes Marvel go down the route of making more animated shows like this. Like, I would love to see a Spider-Man 97 show. Or, an Avengers 97 show. Just, I miss when Marvel first got bought out by Disney. I was excited for the fact that it's like, hey, Disney is one of the premier animation studios. Like, imagine what they could do with the Marvel properties, and we really never got that. Earth's Mightiest Heroes was good, but that was even before the Disney acquisition that got canned. If you like, Avengers Assemble, Ultimate Spider-Man, or some of these other ones, that's fine. For me, they leaned a little bit. They were better for kids than they were for adults, in my opinion. So I would love to see animation go more in the direction of X-Men 97, where it's accessible for both kids and adults, and it really just is faithful to the comics. Like, just do what this did and what Earth's Mightiest Hero did. Just give me a truncated, a smooth version of these major comic storylines for these characters. That's all I want to see. Give me that. I am happy. I haven't really... I enjoyed the first seasons of What If. Season 2 is okay. I didn't even bother with Season 3. Didn't watch Marvel Zombies because that's just not my thing. So it has been kind of disappointing to see the lack of creativity when it comes to the animation side. And I think obviously with X-Men 97 it helps it's not tied to the MCU, so you don't have to worry about contradicting the movies or making something that's so big that the movies can't ignore it. Here they could just play in their own sandbox, and I want more from that. It's okay to have separate Marvel media besides the MCU, and I hope with this continued success of this that Marvel Studios and Disney see that and want to keep pursuing that angle, because diversity is not a bad thing. I mean, DC's been doing it for decades. They were the premier superhero animation shows for a long time. And I think, and they were able to do that while producing movies that were separate. Again, we're in a day and age where I think most people can understand that they're different. So I'm excited for this. July 1st can't come fast enough. Spider Noir is also already out on Amazon Prime. Apparently, they were dropped all the episodes at once. I'll try to review it if I have time. Again, as we're about to discuss, my review slate is pretty full right now, so I just don't know when I would fit it in. But I will definitely try to review X-Men 97. I'm going to review Lanterns. Again, Spider Noir maybe down the road. It might be something where you get a review later on. Especially because I don't know when I would also have time. I don't have time to binge watch 8 1-hour episodes right now, so I'll get to it when I can. If not, it might be something where I can at least give my thoughts on the podcast here, so you can get my opinion and everything on that show if and when I get to it. So just giving you a heads up on that, but that's really all the movie news that I had. So with that, I wanted to just do a quick summer movie preview. Just kind of give you a rundown of the major movies that I will be covering this summer so you can know what to look forward to. So obviously, as stated before, I did a review for Mandalorian and Grogu. It's up on the Substack right now if you want to take a look at it. And then I'll have a spoiler article on that coming this Monday, so June 1st. That will drop for paid subscribers. Hey, if you want to read it, just become a member. And then the following week, I will be having a review for He-Man coming out. I'll be reviewing that. Initially, I wasn't sure if I'd be reviewing it, but man, the trailers got me. I have to see what this bonkers of a movie is going to be like. The trailers worked. They got me. I'm interested to see. I haven't watched anything He-Man. I only know He-Man from the memes. So I'm excited to see the movie as kind of just a fresh face. Hey, if you've never seen He-Man, here you go. I don't know if I'll be doing a spoiler review for that just because it's He-Man. I don't think there'd be that much to spoil. And again, I'm not familiar enough with that lore. Like, obviously, I'm not going to, be like, so-and-so dies or anything like that. But there just might not be enough there for me to really give a good spoiler article for. But the next movie after that, Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day, I'll definitely be doing a spoiler-free review and a spoiler-filled review for paid subscribers. You can bet your bottom dollar on that. I'm really excited for that one. Just, again, how shrouded in mystery that movie has me really excited to see just how it all plays out. Again, it's Steven Spielberg. You have John Williams coming out of retirement at the age of 94, 95 to do the score. So, I mean, sign me up. It's classic summer blockbuster Spielberg, and I am ready. I am so ready. That one's going to get a spoiler-free and spoiler-filled review. Can't wait for that. Next, we have Toy Story 5, which initially I wasn't sure if I would do or not, but the trailer really got me. It really has me interested to see. It looks like it could be a return to form for Toy Story. I loved the original trilogy for Toy Story. I thought it ended perfectly, so when Toy Story 4 came out, I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but I also don't know how much of me just saying I don't think this needed to be made clouded my judgment on that. Maybe I'll do a rewind review on it someday. Because that one is one where I wouldn't mind maybe revisiting to see how I feel about it now. But Toy Story 5, the trailers have won me over. The concept of toys having to deal with technology replacing them as the major plaything for a child is interesting and very relevant, especially for me as a parent of young kids. Kind of having to find that balance of like, okay, there's just a lot of toys that are basically tablets, and I don't really want to give my kid that. I want to give them a normal toy. Kind of having that friction just as a society is interesting, and I think that really lends itself to an interesting setup for a Toy Story movie. Um, and then after Toy Story, obviously I'm going to do Supergirl, both a spoiler-free and spoiler-filled review on that. In fact, next week, this is kind of jumping ahead, but next week's Wednesday article for all subscribers is going to be me doing a breakdown of the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow comic that this movie is really taking a lot of its cues from. So be on the lookout for that next Wednesday. But I'm excited for the movie. I'm also excited because even though I know it feels like Guardians of the Galaxy from the trailer, I don't think that's what it's going to be, and I'm interested to see again what a movie in the DCU not directed by James Gunn is like, and what that will feel like, and what success it will have at the box office. Again, for me, I think the movie has like 165 million-dollar budget, so it doesn't need to do much to make its money back. So I think if it makes like $400 $500, oh my gosh, $500 million, excuse me, there's a couple more zeros in there. I always do that. Again, don't come to me for math, you come to me for movie news. So I think if it does that, I think it should be considered a success. I think the days of most superhero movies making $1 billion is over, with the exceptions of maybe like Spider-Man. I don't even think Avengers Doomsday will make $1 billion. I think Secret Wars might be the one that makes $1 billion, just because I think that one is going to have all the cameos that people want to see, like Hugh Jackman, Deadpool, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield. I think that one might make $1 billion, but I don't think Doomsday will. So I think the idea of all now, I think James Gunn also has figured out some of these movies don't need to have a budget of $350-400 million. So the break-even requirement doesn't need to be as high. I think for Supergirl, having a 300 to 500 million expectation of returns is reasonable and a good return. Again, it doesn't need to make $1 billion. So if you hear people saying, well, it didn't make $1 billion, it's a failure, I don't think they know what they're talking about. But moving on, after Supergirl, also I'll be seeing Scary Movie 6 as well. I don't know if I'm not going to I'll do some kind of article for the paid subscribers on that. I just don't know. I don't know if I could do a full review on it, because comedy is so subjective. So what one person finds funny, another person doesn't. But I will probably do some kind of article on Scary Movie for the paid subscribers some point next month or in July. And then in July, speaking of July, obviously I'll be seeing Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. I know there's been a lot of talk about the casting. I don't want to get into that. For me, I'm just going to be like, it's Nolan. I trust him on his decisions when it comes to why he casts certain people. And I'm just going to take it at face value and judge the movie based on what I see on screen. So if an actor doesn't do well, it's because either the script isn't good or their acting isn't good. It has nothing to do with what they look like, who they are, what's between their legs. I don't care. I'm just there to judge the movie. So I'm not going to get into any of the culture war shenanigans. That's not my thing. If you want that, I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that can fill that slot for you, but that's not me. And then, of course, after that, we got Spider-Man Brand New Day. And with the Odyssey, I'm not going to do a spoiler-filled review. It's the Odyssey. It's been around for centuries. I don't think I can spoil a centuries old story. So I doubt that I'll need a spoiler review for that. But I will be doing a spoiler review and spoiler-free review for Spider-Man Brand New Day, obviously. Really excited about that. Really intrigued how that goes. Cannot wait. And then to round out the end of the summer in August, I'll be doing Coyote versus Acme. So be on the lookout for that. That one, just the trailer won me over, and just the history behind that movie, where you have it being shot and then shut down by Warner Brothers, and then people basically campaigning to have it released, and then it's sold off to some no-name distributor, and now it's finally coming out, even though it's been finished for like 3 years. It's just one of those where it's like, I just got to see the end result of all this. It's just it's like a crazy sports game. I gotta see how this ends. I may not care about the teams in it, or I have a dog in the fight, but I need to see how this ends. So I'm excited for that. But those are the movies that you can expect to see come out, or see me review when they come out. Again, I'll be seeing them opening weekend, so the week afterwards you'll get the spoiler-free review, and then if there is a spoiler-filled review, you'll get it the Monday after the spoiler-free review, if that makes sense. So it gives you, for anyone who wants to read the spoiler article, it gives you time to see the movie and then read my thoughts on all the spoiler-filled plot points or character decisions or whatever on that. So, but that's all I had with the summer movie preview. I don't have any new paid subscriber shoutouts, but shoutouts to the four that I've got: Mr. Hyde, Bert, Lisa, Cameron. Thank you so much for your support. And I do have a paid subscriber question. Again, if you want to submit one yourself, all you have to do is upgrade your subscription for the measly price of $6, which is a cup of coffee in most places. So, if you can skip Starbucks for one time and then support me, I really appreciate it. Again, this is something I'm making my business. So any support that you can make or give me, whether it's free or paid, I really appreciate it. But with that, here's the paid subscriber question for this week. It says, as a huge nerd of both universes, if you could take one creative director or writer from Marvel and hand them total control over the DC universe and to completely revamp it, who are you picking to balance their books, and what character are they fixing first? So obviously this is I would take this as if James Gunn didn't already do that. But if I had my choice, I would choose the Russos, because they've shown that they can handle that many characters. It's the reason I think Marvel has brought them back. I think beyond them doing Avengers, I think Kevin Feige wants to hand some of his responsibilities over to them and oversee whatever the new MCU looks like after Secret Wars. But I would bring them over to DC, and I don't know if this is the easy pick, but I would like to see what they do with Batman, because I think they could do a really interesting, especially if they could do a Civil War style story for Batman. I mean, you could have them do Under the Red Hood to kind of, if you really want to do parallels where you have the sidekick and friend that comes back from the dead, change, and is a villain or at least an anti-hero. I would like to see their take on Batman, because I think they could capture the comic booky elements like they did in their movies, while giving Batman a different characterization than what we've seen before, while also still feeling true to the comics. So I would like to see them do Batman. That would be my pick. And again, I know that they can do hand-to-hand action while also handling superpowered people, so no villain would be off the table with them. And the action would be pretty cool, and it would be a good foundation, again, that they could kind of handle building up to a story and completing it, and then rinse and repeating that. So that would be my pick. It might be the easy pick, but they're the biggest directors for me that I would pick. Maybe a second one would be, what's his name? Maybe John Watts, who did the Spider-Man trilogy, giving him like a Robin or Nightwing series or movie. Maybe not make him in charge, but at least give him a movie. That would be my second pick. It's kind of a half pick, because I would think the Russos would probably be the best pick for being in charge. But that's my answer to that. Thank you so much for submitting that question. And again, if you want to submit your own question, just upgrade your tier upgrade your subscription. And I thank you for your support, no matter what. But before we get out of here, I'll tell you what I'm watching. So I what am I currently watching? So obviously I just watched Punisher, did a review for that. I'm going to try to watch the Spider Noir show when I can. Again, it's just trying to fit 8 hours of TV on top of everything else I'm already watching is hard. So just watched Mandalorian and Grogu again. Spoiler-free review is out on the Substack right now, free to enjoy and read it. I will not give you my opinion here. You'll have to read and find out what I thought of that movie. Next week, you got on Monday for the paid subscribers, again, spoiler article on Mandalorian and Grogu. And then Wednesday, a article looking at the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow comic and how it can influence the upcoming Supergirl movie. So be on the lookout for that. But that's all I have for today. Thank you as always so much for your support and listening. You guys are awesome. I love doing this. And I will see you back next week with more news. Hopefully. We'll see. With that, goodbye.